Good morning, everyone. While sitting in your common room, you might wonder, what is Black History Month and why do we celebrate it? Well, Black History Month was made to honor all black people from all periods of time in U.S. history. It honors the first people that was brought over from Africa in the 17th century to black people living in America now.
Good morning, everyone. While you're sitting in your common rooms, you might be wondering, what is Black History Month and why do we celebrate it? Black History Month is created to focus on the contributions of African Americans in the United States. It honors black people in all periods of the U.S. history, from the enslaved people brought over from Africa to the people living in the United States today. Here is the history behind Black History Month. Carter G. Woodson founded an association to study Negro life and history.
Carter G. Woodson understood that it was important to recognize the differences between all races and cultures in the world, which is why we're presenting this chapter to you.
In 1915, historian Carter G. Woodson co-founded the Association to Study Negro Life and History. In 1926, his association dedicated the second week of February as Negro History Week to recognize the contributions of African Americans in U.S. history.
This week was chosen because it includes birthdays of Frederick Douglass and former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. Carter G. Woodson understood the importance to acknowledge the differences between different cultures and races in the world, which is why we're presenting this chapter to you. I hope you enjoy it.
So I've been asked to talk a bit about how I have experienced Black History Month in my life and what Black history has meant to me, I guess, I've been growing up. I was looking up, I did a bit of research. Black History Month started really in the States in the late 70s, in Canada more into the 90s. So after I was in school, actually, after I was in high school. And what I was thinking is that, you know, in terms of Black history, I think that what's really important is to acknowledge that it's not something in the past, it's an ongoing thing. And just in my lifetime, you know, the things that stand out for me are seeing the tents in Washington, D.C. on the mall where people had come from all over the United States to listen to Martin Luther King and to demonstrate for equality and jobs in the mid-60s. And as a little kid, I remember seeing all those tents all over the city of Washington and being so struck. So I guess my point is that history is something that is alive and ongoing. And today, of course, we have Black Lives Matter, and which is so important. And we continue to look at this issue of racial justice with, you know, more and more sophistication and understanding. So it's really important to see the continuity of the past, where we've come from. And it's also important to see that history isn't something just in the past, that history is happening right now. And part of Black history is this film. So, you know, I think it's really important for us just to continue to devote ourselves to being open and having conversations and you know, and making history.
Hi, Rohan.
Hi,
I have a question for you.
what is it?
Where are you from?
I'm from Iran.
Like, is that where you're really from?
That is where I'm really
Is
from.
that where your parents are from?
Yes, that's where my parents are from.
Is that like your whole family?
My whole family.
Okay. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Hannah.
Where are you from?
Hong Kong/Canada.
Hong Kong/Canada?
Yes.
Like, where were you born?
Hong Kong.
Is that where your parents are from?
No, my mom's Canadian, my dad's American.
Ah. Well, like, where are your grandparents from?
My grandparents are Canadian and my other grandparents are American, so still American Canada.
But where are their grandparents from?
American Canada. American Canada. Yeah.
Okay. You need to pull out your passport every time someone asks you where you're from? Well, I do too. For most people, the question, where are you from, is a common talking point when meeting someone new. But for me, this sets off a series of red flags in my head. Let me walk you through my thought process. Flag number 1. Were you born there? Is this out of curiosity or because they didn't find my answer logical enough? Am I going to have to prove myself? I think this is just normal. Nope, I was born in Ireland, I'll say. Flag number 2. Are you sure? What city then? Ugh, this is not looking too good. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. Yeah, definitely being dramatic. They just want to know. Ireland seems like a pretty cool place. I was born in Wexford, County Wexford, I say. Flag number 3. This happens right after I give my last answer. It's the eyes widening, eyebrows raising, slight head tilt, and where are your parents from though? Like, where are you really from? For me, there it is, I think. Should I tell them the truth or tell them that my parents are from Russia? Nope, that'll only spur even more questions. They're Nigerian, I say. Almost immediately after, whoever was asking me the question gets suddenly overwhelmed by a sense of relief. I finally said something that made sense, because black people can't be from Canada or Europe. My hypothesis for why the question, where are you really from, is so commonly asked to black people is because we tend to forget that the Atlantic slave trade was global. Because of this, there are populations of black people who won't be able to say an African country, as generations of their family are from the first place they answered with. I'm betting that most people listening to this would not be able to tell me where their great-great-great-great-grandparents are from, because your identity or family's identity is Canadian or American. I am an Irish Canadian, but I'm also Nigerian. Nationality is different from ethnicity. What I'm suggesting is that instead of investigating into someone's genetic history and searching for an answer that fits our worldview, we should be open-minded to the possibilities that we may not expect. This is brought to you by the Black students of Shotgun.
My hair is like a blanket, stretching and folding around my body. A nest of curls and coils so fine, my own mother does not notice its simple details. My hair is a pattern as uniquely different as a fingerprint's. My hair is a suit of armor, shining in the sun, protecting me from the cold touch of someone's words. My hair was meant to play free, like a child's imagination, and be wild as the wind. My hair is a form of expression some do not have access to. I should worship it. Yet I continue to treat it like a slave. Go one way, pull straight, stay up. I must learn. I must learn that although it is my greatest insecurity, my hair is my greatest source of power. I must learn. My hair does not hear the words of praise, nor does it hear the words of people telling me it is crazy. I must learn. I must learn my hair is like a shadow that doesn't leave when it's dark. I must learn. It shall always be there. When I'm having my first kiss, it will be there. The first time I fall in love, it will be there. When I'm in my first university classes, it will be there. When I'm at my lowest points and highest highs, my hair will be there. My hair may change, but so will I. My hair is my hair alone, and I must learn to love it as such.
Hi, James. I have a question for you.
Yes,
Is that your real hair?
it is my real hair. I get questioned about it, saying people say it's a perm, people say it's other things.
Ah,
I appreciate the compliment, but no, it's completely natural.
it grows like that.
It grows like this.
Really?
With the help of a little bit of conditioner every morning, it grows like this.
I'm not sure. I think I need to touch it. Seems pretty real. Hi, Paige.
Hi.
I'm gonna ask you a question for Black History Month.
Okay.
Is that your real hair?
Yeah. Except it's dyed a little bit.
Is she real hair?
Yeah.
You mean it grows like that, like in the braids?
Oh, no.
It doesn't?
No.
Did you get them here though?
Aubrey did them for me.
I thought only the Dutch could do that.
Okay.
Is your hair the subject of confusion for some of your peers? Do you constantly have to explain how you wash it, braid it, and dry it? Are there hands in your hair without your permission? We know the feeling. Hair is a super fun thing. You can put it in a myriad of styles. Same thing goes with black hair. We wash it regularly, but that doesn't have to mean every other day. Let me explain. The curlier your hair gets, the slower oils travel down the length of it. This also means we have to put our hair in protective styles and put products in it to keep it healthy. Although these styles differ from the styles we most commonly see in the media. Like art in museums, you probably shouldn't just touch it. It's really awkward getting random scalp massages from people you just met. We love your interest in our culture and hair, but remember to be respectful in your questions and of people's personal boundaries. It's my Head and Shoulders.
Yes. Okay. To be honest, this speech was written pretty last minute. And not because I didn't want to talk about this or because I didn't want to do it, but more so because I didn't know what I wanted to say. But after 3 drafts and just getting mad at myself, I was like, I'll just talk. Let's just have like a conversation where I talk and you guys just kind of listen. So the other day, I was thinking about race, and I was thinking, where did the concept of race come from? Obviously, it is something that's learned, but children aren't born knowing that race is going to affect how their life is. They're not born knowing the significance of one small thing in their lives. My mom once told me that when I was a kid, I didn't fully grasp the concept of race for a while. I don't think it wasn't that I didn't understand race. I saw that people were different, I understood. But it was more like I saw race as culture. I saw race as being from this part of Africa, or being Chinese, or being Japanese. And this was because I went to a highly international school when I was in Ireland. My elementary school had people from all over the world who just ended up in this one school. And so to me, race was more your language and your customs and the food you ate. Race wasn't race. It wasn't skin color. It was your nationality. It was your ethnicity. It was where you came from. It was your roots. But when I moved to Canada, my definition of race changed, because suddenly, after being in this multiracial school, multicultural school, I was the only Black person in my entire class. And it felt like a vulnerability. I felt a bit alone. I had friends and stuff, but it just felt off. Something didn't feel right. By the time I hit middle school, I had grown used to the "you don't talk" / act Black comments. I gotten tired of trying to tell everyone not every Black person is the same, which for some reason is a difficult concept to grasp. And I was always fighting to defy the expectations set of me and to break through these negative stereotypes that people seem to always have. People looked at me and they saw sass and they saw worship music, and people's minds were made up before they really got to know me, and sometimes even afterwards they would still expect certain things from me. Eventually, I began associating being Black with bad. I didn't associate Black people with bad. The color felt like a weight. Me being Black felt like something I had to carry every day, all day, and it wasn't a good kind of weight. And I knew it was a weight that would never go away. When my brother was 6 or 7 maybe, he got cornrows. And my parents decided he got cornrows because he had this huge Jackson 5 afro beforehand, and they thought, oh, this will probably be a lot easier to handle. This won't be as much work for us. And I remember after he got these cornrows, he ran into my room and he was just absolutely sobbing, like tears running down his face, like and just like gone. And he was like, I look like a girl. He just kept saying, I look like a girl, I look like a girl, I look like a girl. And I remember saying to him, no, you don't, you're fine. And I told him, you know what? You look like the Karate Kid. You look like Jaden Smith in the Karate Kid. And when I tell you this boy's tears, they just evaporated. Like they were just absolutely gone. And lately, my brother's been toying with the idea of changing up his hair. And honestly, I don't want him to. It was fine when he was a kid, but now he's over 6 foot and growing a mustache. When you're a Black man, you get seen a certain way. There's this stigma around black men, and I don't want him to end up falling into that negative stereotype. It might sound stupid that something as small as hair makes me think this much, but I've experienced firsthand how much my hair affects the way people see me. And it confuses people. And it confuses people especially when I defy expectations, when I'm not as seen on TV, when I'm not the sassy friend or the funny friend, which I can't be. I'm not that funny. Like, it just doesn't happen like that. I'm not born black just to be funny. I'm not born black just to be sassy. I was just born to become whatever I become. Racism for me isn't in my face. It's more like constant harsh reminders that people see me more for my skin color than they do for anything else. It's like my skin is my personality. I am so much more than my skin. I am so much more than my race, and I want people to start looking past that. I want people to get to know me for who I am outside of this one tiny box that I fit into. To be completely honest, I hate having these conversations. Like, I absolutely despise talking about race because sometimes I just want to ignore it. Sometimes I just want to pretend it doesn't exist, that people just see me as Timi and not the black girl or that one black girl. I just want to be Timi. So when race comes up, I just kind of take a hesitant step back and I let other people do my talking. But I've started to realize I have a voice. And I started to realize that I'm lucky that I have a voice, that I'm lucky in general. For me, the biggest thing I've experienced is being followed at the store, or weird looks or questionable comments made to me. But some people have had it so much worse. I've been lucky. When my cousin comes to me at age 5 saying she hates her hair, or people didn't like her hair, or were making fun of her hair because it was braids, making fun of her hair because it was purple, I wish she could see her the way I see her and notice that her hair is beautiful. It is her heritage. It is her culture. It is part of who she is. And when my dad comes back and tells me he's had patients in the ER, patients in trouble, refusing his help because of his skin color, it hurts. Like, I don't want that to be the world that we live in. So anyway, what is this speech about? I don't know. It's about everything, I guess. It's about growing. It's about realizing that your perception of race and what it means to be who you are, how that changes as you grow and as you learn new things. I'm still growing and learning. My perception of who I am will continue to change as I continue to grow. I just started growing. I have so much more growing to do. And I just hope that people continue to grow and continue to look at things from a new perspective. And come talk to me. I know I said I hate having these conversations, but if you force me to have these conversations, I will happily have them with you. I'm not even kidding. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed our chapel, and we'll see you around.
Hi, Abby. Hi, Hannah. I just had a question. Okay. Do you know Jennifer Lawrence? Yes, I do. Like, personally? No, I do not. Wait, what? Yeah, yeah. I could have sworn you guys were, like, related or something. Oh my god, really? You think I look like Jennifer Lawrence? So similar. Oh my god. You guys don't see each other for, like, family reunions or anything? I mean, maybe you were distant cousins, but not that I know about. Okay. Well, do you know, like, them personally? What about the Hemsworths? No. Oh my gosh, I wish. I wish. Well, sorry. Nice interviewing you. Hi, Mia. Hi, Hannah. Do you know Finn Wolfhard? Unfortunately not. Oh, I thought you would. No. You guys just look so similar. Like, yeah. With your hair and stuff. Yeah. Just so similar. Yeah.
Do you have an uncanny resemblance to everyone with the same skin tone as you? Have you been stopped by people asking you if you're someone's child, nephew, niece, or sibling? No, we are not all somehow related. Most of us didn't even know each other until we came to Shawnigan. If I knew I was related to a celebrity, trust me, you'd know. Another question in the same general sphere is, why don't you talk black? I'm confused too. What does talking black mean? You can't speak a race. This stems from the same idea that all black people are the same, or are all related. It also comes from what's most commonly portrayed in our media. African American Vernacular English, or AAVE, is American. My parents are from Africa. We don't really speak with AAVE. Black people are not all the same, and we did not all grow up in the same cultural settings. Go to notmyancestry.ca. If you didn't catch on, the questions I asked people were commonly asked questions black people get. I'm sure I made at least a few people uncomfortable. Conversations about any sort of prejudice are difficult because they make us uncomfortable, especially when we aren't directly victims of it. They're even harder when we shut each other down. One question the black community receives a lot when talking about the issues we face is, why do we make everything about race? I'm not the speaker of all black people, obviously, but I hope that most of us don't want everything to be about race. But everything has been about race. That's why it's still an issue we face. That's why we still need to have these conversations. We all have a limited perspective or reality. Right-handed people don't know why being left-handed is hard because everyday objects have been designed to accommodate us. We're not going to think about smudging letters as we write or holding scissors in a comfortable way. This is the same with race. The only way to have equality is by talking about it and hearing other perspectives and experiences, even if it's not directly what we believe.
Hi, my name is Denise. I'm a grade 11 in Kay's house, and today I'll be talking to you all about ways you can show your support during this month. After hearing all the information about the significance of Black History Month, I hope you might ask yourself, how can I show my support? These 28 days are devoted to the Black community, and they're a time to commemorate all things Black. While Black History Month may look very different due to COVID-19, that doesn't mean that you as a student cannot celebrate Black History Month. The main way I will be talking about celebrating Black History Month is the support of Black-owned businesses. If that is not of interest to you, please don't worry. Other ways you can support are by reading books by Black authors, which Ms. Hidley has a great selection spread about the library, educating yourself, start your conversation with your friends, do a quick Google search, just really understand Black culture. Sign petitions, donate, trace your family history, and when you're of age, please go out and vote. Buying from Black-owned shops, stores, and brands is one of many ways you can be an ally and show your support to a community that has been deeply affected by systematic racism. Diversity builds economic vitality, uplifts communities, and promotes productivity and resilience. Where you choose to buy your staples, such as makeup, clothes, or food, can truly make a difference. When making a purchase online or in-store, especially during this month, instead of flocking to our normal stores such as Zara, Aritzia, Urban Outfitters, or wherever else you like to shop, please do a quick Google search to find a Black-owned business you can support instead. When you support Black-owned businesses, you get products that are valuable for the unique character they bring, and you also avoid spending money at other companies that may not celebrate Black culture. By diverting your purchasing power to more Black-owned businesses, you are not only helping to strengthen local Black economies, it can also contribute to shrinking the racial wealth gap, foster more job creation for Black people, and help to hold larger companies accountable in regard to diverse representation. An important thing to note is this only happens if Black-owned businesses are supported on a wider scale, not just by a few people. Whether it's shopping, following on Instagram, signing up for a newsletter, engaging via comment, or telling a friend, no act of support is too small. So, how do you find Black-owned businesses to support, you might ask? It's honestly not that hard. So let's say I was looking for some new jewelry. I would just type in Black-owned jewelry shops, and a huge list would come up. If Google is not the way you want to go, A huge tip that I have is to go on Instagram, type in the hashtag Black-owned businesses, and there's a total of 9 million posts on there. There are some amazing Black-owned creators who share their work and just are trying to publicize their business. So please go follow that hashtag and just look at the amazing things that some great small Black-owned businesses have to offer this month.